But I've got news for you. Copernicus called, and you are not the center of the universe.
I love democracy. I love the Republic.
The main thing is to protect these characters, make sure that they still continue to live in the way that you created them, and that the universe of Star Wars continues to grow.
So I've been told that we may have to wait till December for the emails to be dropped and the information to be dropped on Kennedy to force her out. Now, why won't she leave? Well, let's talk about it. First off, she has a clause in her contract that says she can't be fired for cause. Negotiating the contract that way and allowing that clause to stay is Bob Iger's fault. Okay, it's Bob fucking Iger's fault. He knew it was a stupid idea. Look, as far as I'm concerned, Bob Iger knew she was overhyped, incompetent, and just a shitty boss when Rogue One had so much trouble going on. And oh, by the way, we don't know the troubles that went on behind the scenes for The Force Awakens. Okay. And according to J.W. Rinsler, Disney would never let him talk about it. So that's a problem. Okay. Kennedy's incompetence is known. And yet every time the contract would come up to be renewed, Disney would just do it instead of saying, we want to renegotiate the contract and we want some changes made. Bob Iger literally at one point had no power to curb her enthusiasm beyond denying her money to make her stupid woke projects. And consider that has been the problem, all right? She should have been let go after Solo failed so miserably. But the other problem is this. Kathleen Kennedy is a narcissistic, self-interested woman who doesn't realize the damage she's causing to the people around her, and she doesn't care. Take, for instance, Daisy Ridley shows up at Star Wars Celebration, probably to say goodbye to Kathy, because Kathy was told, this is your goodbye party, take the accolades and go. When she got there, she was told we're hyping up a new movie for Rey. Daisy Ridley knows there's no movie for Rey. She's on her way to doing another one now. Okay, but we've got Screen Rant, who's attached probably to the minions still at Lucasfilm that are loyal to Kennedy, writing shit like this. All right, now you'll see occasionally Deadline drop something about a Rey movie. Let's talk about The Acolyte. It should have been a really big signal not to renegotiate her contract when Kennedy brought in Leslie Headland to basically be the opposite of Jon Favreau. Okay, this was Kennedy's retaliation for the guys having George as their advisor, not her. But I know some other inside stuff about her ideas on creativity from other people within the film industry that have had to deal with her as president of Lucasfilm. And I don't blame Jon Favreau for wanting to avoid her. Okay? Kennedy is a bully. She's a narcissist. Everything revolves around her, which is why the Kelsey Grammer statement to David Hyde Pierce as Niles is the front runner on this. And the reason why I use those, because the original Frasier is a witty, intelligent show, and they have the best insults on the planet. And really, this is what Disney's dealing with Kennedy. She has no idea the harm she's causing her own family, her husband's reputation. She's hurting the people who are loyal to her by not letting go. And she honestly imagines she'll be back. But let's talk about the humiliation factor about to drop on her.
I never had an agent. It's not like she worships the devil.
Well, she doesn't have to. He worships her. On your fiery throne presiding over the damned.
That starts with the person who created Indiana Jones, George Lucas. The person who is Indiana Jones, Harrison Ford. And the person who is the glue to all 5 of these films that gave us all of our rhythm and all of our melody, the great maestro, John Williams.
Oh, she's horrible. I've made a ghastly, ghastly mistake.
Now, I had to add this funny meme to this video just because I love it. It's something Han Solo would do to her. When you watch Kennedy interviewed with, like, doing a roundtable discussion, she interrupts, she says something stupid. Some of the discussion videos that they have on Disney Plus shows Jon Favreau trying to redirect the conversation away from her, because the moment they start, she jumps in and tries to take it over. Okay, so fine. Steven Spielberg has always known this about her. He talked about how she'd interrupt them all the time, how they'd be discussing a film and she'd say, you know, what if he just ended up with the dog? You know, it just, really stupid stuff. And, all right, first off, I don't think women are as romantic as men are. Women are attracted to the kind of romance men can write, okay? But we really aren't good at doing what they do. It's never happened, okay? So this video isn't about that. It's about partly about what Spielberg did to Kennedy at the Los Angeles film premiere of Indiana Jones 5. You saw the video yet again. You saw her reaction and Frank's reaction to not being mentioned at all, completely ignored, and it was deliberate. All right, I have a friend who worked for Spielberg. Look her up on IMDb, Bettina Viviano. Okay. And when she saw the video, she was like, oh, she was happy as hell. Her experiences with Kennedy went from positive to overnight being negative because Kennedy is a moron, basically is what Bettina implied. And she's also said some other things about her. So we've got Spielberg telling Hollywood Kennedy's canceled. Then we've got, a week ago, Gina Carano, after this email bunker buster, nuclear bomb, was implied on another YouTube channel, going into great detail and saying whatever was coming soon. Now, how involved is Gina in this? Probably not a lot. She helped, but she's not the people behind it. The people behind it are way higher up on the food chain. than she is, okay? But the reason why it has to be done, I mean, if you look at what happened to Gina, and you look at what has occurred, just with the outlandish juvenile behavior of Pablo Hidalgo on Twitter before he first got his ass kicked by Disney, okay? I think the only reason why he's still working for Lucasfilm is because Kennedy saved his job, which I want to look at and go, what the fuck did you do that for? Okay. It goes without saying that Gina had a front seat to a lot of this shit, was a target for a lot of mean girl, juvenile, immature, unprofessional behavior on the part of Kathleen Kennedy herself. Okay, so the fact that she would be helped and would help with this doesn't surprise me. I think Bob Iger knows bringing her back would kind of shut down a lot of the negative commentary about Lucasfilm and Disney from the Phantom Menace. And look, I mean, I have never been on the side of the employee unless they're being exploited or bullied like Gina. I'm definitely not on Kennedy's side. I am not on SAG-AFTRA's side. The way their leadership has handled them is bullshit. I mean, Fran Drescher should be humiliated. I'm on the side of Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni, and Bob Iger on this. Okay? The fact that Kennedy felt entitled enough, I mean, we'll talk about that, to go above, to try to go around Iger, to Nelson Peltz to keep her job, to me is laughable. Nelson Peltz is there because partly, I mean, if you look at the myriad of things wrong at Disney right now, part of it is because of her. Okay? Part of it is because of her. Let me repeat. Part of the reason why Disney is in such a shitstorm is because of fucking Kathleen Kennedy. All right? She will not take responsibility. You would think the South Park episode would have been a wake-up call, another public humiliation for her, and it wasn't. Obviously, because she hasn't tendered her resignation. So now they've got to go to the nuclear bomb route. It's not even going to be a bunker buster. It's not going to be a 500-pound Moab fuel air bomb. It's going to be a fucking hydrogen bomb, 50-kiloton nuclear bomb. Look, people in Hollywood live and die by their reputations. Okay? That's it. Okay? When they cease making money for other people, that's when they start walking into trouble, because that's when their carefully crafted reputation starts showing cracks. Harvey Weinstein. All right? Others have had similar issues occur. Okay? And when I think about Steven Spielberg humiliating her in public, in her face, all right, in front of the Hollywood community, that was a big, look, I don't care what black pill blobbies are doing, that was the biggest bitch slap, I think, in the history of Hollywood, publicly in Hollywood. Okay, now you've got Frank Marshall talking about, wishing Kate Capshaw a happy birthday, past tense, saying she was a good friend, was underlined 3 times, for emphasis here. Okay, what the fuck? Spielberg humiliated him too, because he allows Kennedy to drive the truck. All right? He's not being a man about it and saying, Kathy, let it go. Okay? All right? He's not being a man about it saying, Kathy, let it go. Okay. Now, this is what I think. if she goes quietly, publicly says, I'm resigning from Lucasfilm, I've got other things I want to do now, blah, 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 everybody's going to know why. We will never see the emails. All right. But, everybody, if she decides not to do that, and they drop the nuclear bomb on her, she will have to resign. Look, her reputation's already bad, all right? They're selling their showcase house because they know their time is up. And here's the problem for Frank. It looks to me, and I'm going to say this, that he is in a very abusive relationship with his wife, okay? Kathy will not stop, okay? She's look, the most abusive people in the world are people with personality disorders, the narcissistic personality disorder. Read about it. And you know, talked about Kathleen Kennedy. She does not care if what she does hurts Frank. And it's abusive. It's abusive to their kids. It's abusive to the people who worked for her and were loyal. It is abusive to the fandom. Because she's in a position where you don't even have to know her to feel the bitch slaps you constantly get from her because of who she is and what she is. Okay, she didn't do the things with Ray and Helena Shaw because they were good ideas. She did it because she wanted to be number one in everything. She did it to feature herself, okay? And how are personality disorders created? Are they born with it? Are they formed? I would say she became a narcissist because of her father, because of her parents, and she was formed that way. And a narcissistic personality disorder is not curable, okay? You cannot, it's not like they give you a lithium shot and you're suddenly normal. You're suddenly a rational human being. That doesn't happen, okay? And it is abusive. Gina was an object of her abuse. Harrison Ford was. Mark Hamill was. Billy D. Williams was. Everybody at Lucasfilm, whether if they liked what she was doing or not, it was. The fans are, okay? Because she went out of her way to make herself the center of attention in every fucking movie that they put out there in the last 10, 15 years. She is Ray, she's Kyle Ron, she's Jen Erso, she's Amelia Clark. I fucking hate that character. She's Helena Shaw. In every one of these instances, the movie failed because there was no creativity. Rogue One was fine, but still, the fact of the matter is, you still had a skinny, upper-class, British, flat-as-a-board chick, Kennedy's avatar as the lead. Okay. All right. It's all about her, and that's what has hurt Lucasfilm. And she will not let it go. We are in an abusive relationship with her. Okay. This is an abusive relationship with Kathleen Kennedy. And until they drop those emails, and we might not see them until around Christmas time, December, I don't know what to say. Sometimes you gotta have hope. All right? That's one thing Star Wars has taught all of us, is to be hopeful. And that's what we dine on here. Hopefully Kennedy will finally realize that it's time for her to go. This is Steph signing out. I'll see you around the galaxy.